The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn shut down a reporter's attempt to compare him to Bill Parcells. Plus, the latest from Jets training camp as the pads are on for a second straight day. It's the Jake Asman Show. Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 will join us. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quentin Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Tuesday. Before we bring in today's guest, a quick update to anyone who's joining us at our training camp meetup this Saturday. Because the Jets green and white scrimmage is at 8:30 in the morning, our event will now start at 12:30. So give people some time to enjoy the full green and white scrimmage, some autographs, and then drive the 30 minutes over from One Jets Drive to the Cloverleaf Tavern in Caldwell, New Jersey. So 12:30 is the new start time for our training camp meetup. This Saturday, spots are still available. Click the link in the description and join me and the Asmaniacs for a day of greatness. Free giveaways, Jets merch raffles, Chef Kevin making a food and beverage menu customized for Asmaniacs. It will be a great time. So I'm looking forward to that on Saturday. With that said, let's say hello to a good friend of the show. He's joining us live on his vacation in Maine right now. Live from the beach is Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Ryan, how we feeling, man? You look great.
Hey, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm out in the sand and sun and, well, trying not to burn too much. This fair skin is a magnet for sunburn.
I know that feeling all too well. So I know what you're going through. The umbrella, by the way, nice touch. You know, you're really crushing it. Got the bucket hat on as well. Well done.
Oh, dad mode, fully engaged.
As far as the New York Jets, they are on the practice field right now. Aaron Glenn will speak later today. Doesn't sound like it's a very good day for the Jet offense right now, so we'll cover that later on in the show. And for those tuning in after the fact, Robbie Sabo will join me this afternoon. He's at practice right now for full takeaways. But I want to go back to something that happened yesterday when Aaron Glenn spoke. He was asked a question about Bill Parcells, and I thought the way Aaron Glenn answered this question here was very telling.
Change your coaching style as a Bill Parcells disciple, as a tough coach for 2025. Some of the stuff Bill did 30, 40 years ago, yelling and screaming, maybe doesn't resonate the same in 2025 with the modern athlete. So how do you take all the good things of Bill and perhaps you can do things exactly like him?
Well, first off, I'm Aaron Glenn. I'm not Bill. So that really is answering your question.
But as far as the style of coaching in 2020,
I have my own style of coaching. Listen, I learned a lot from Bill, but Aaron Glenn's going to show up like on the field, on the grass, with the players every time.
but can you yell at players like you could 20 years ago?
My personality is going to show up on the field every time. Have you seen me do it? My personality is going to show up on the field every time.
Ryan, what do you make of those comments there? The media keeps trying to talk about Bill Parcells' influence and make that connection in all the stories, and Glenn's pushing back on that. What did you make of that exchange?
Yeah, I like it. I like how Glenn handles the media and how, you know, he's right. He's making his own style. I'm sure he's pulling a little bit from Bill. He's probably pulling a little bit from Sean Payton. He's probably pulling a little bit from Dan Campbell, but it's going to be Aaron Glenn's style and approach. And he knows how to talk to his players. His players are clearly responding to him. The accountability factor has been huge. So maybe there's little aspects of this as Bill Parcells, but this is an Aaron Glenn team and an Aaron Glenn coach.
What do you think of the fact that Glenn is so confident when he's up there at the podium? that he'll push back on questions. He's basically the total opposite of the previous head coach, Robert Saleh.
Yeah, there's a little more of like a definitive answer when it comes to Glenn, and like, it's not just going to play like, hey, play nice with me while you're asking me questions. It's I'm going to get some questions. I'm going to answer the way I feel they need to be answered, and there's no kind of facade. It feels like there was with Saleh, there was much more of a show that had to be put on to show that everything was going well and everything's going right. And Glenn's like, hey, here's how it is, and I like it. I appreciate it. I think the players probably do as well.
We're talking with Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 here on the show. If anyone has a question on the Jets or anything NFL related, super chat it in. It cuts the line. And a reminder, we are on to another giveaway in our weekly raffle series. Yesterday, we gave away a signed Joe Namath helmet and a signed Justin Fields helmet. This week, we got 2 prizes so far. Signed Broadway Joe Namath jersey with certificate of authentication included, and a signed football by DeBrickashaw Ferguson. So gift away to be eligible. And how about this? A daily raffle. Breaking news. Signed Wayne Corbett jersey. At the end of the show, we give it away. I actually have it in my hand right here. It will be sent out today if you win and provide me your address, gift the membership to be eligible. Yesterday, Ryan, some Jet news here. They brought in Nick Folk to try out for the roster to be, their kicker. And then this morning, the Jets released Caden Davis, who was the only other kicker on the team with Harrison Mevis, the thicker kicker. So does it open the door for Nick Folk to be signed today? That's certainly something I'm going to be watching. But what was your reaction to hearing the news that Folk, our old friend, was brought in for a tryout at age 40?
Hey, I mean, kickers can last a long time in this league. If the fear is that the strength of his leg may have diminished with age or something along those lines, like I understand that if he's not kicking 56-yarders or the plus. But if you're clutch from 40 yards in or 45 yards in, I feel like that's 9 times out of 10 what you're going to be kicking anyway. And maybe it provides some degree of competition for other guys. So I don't really care about the age of my kickers as long as they're getting it through the uprights.
100%. I think at the end of the day, I never liked the idea of the Jets potentially going into the year with a kicker who's never kicked in the NFL before and a punter who's never punted in the NFL before. The one thing I'll say is I want them to sign Nick Folk, but if they do that, why couldn't they just have kept Thomas Morstead, right? If you're going to have an aging kicker anyway, like why not just have kept Morstead, who is still a very good punter, considering the Jets already had to cut one of the 2 punters they brought in, and it's not even August yet because he was so bad in camp.
So I loved Morstead. I thought his personality was great. I feel like some of it was, maybe cap relief related or maybe just allowing him to go to a better team because we're probably not going to be like highly competitive this year. I actually got a soft spot for McNamara on our roster right now because his dad works for the company I work for. So I'm hoping I'm kind of pulling for the guy, but I don't know, special teams wise, I don't know. It's important, I guess, but I'm not going to beat myself up too crazy about the punter. And as long as the kicker's making kicks, it's, age is just a number.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge shout out to Janice Jett, who's the first person to come through for the people on the show today. 10 channel memberships gifted.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Janice, thank you very much. If you hear your name called, Janice made you a channel member. So get on your knees and bow down to Janice. You know what? YouTube's not even showing me the name, so I apologize. But if you got one from Janice, make sure you thank her. Mike Dems joins the raffle for 1. And our good friend Green Gang, he just gifted, how about 5 channel memberships?
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
All those entries go towards the weekly raffle prize and our Wayne Corbett signed jersey giveaway at the end of the show for those of you just tuning in. Ryan, what have been your impressions on an Aaron Glenn training camp so far? First time I've had you on since camp got underway. I know you've been following all the tweets, and you guys have Talking Jets, of course, every Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. So your thoughts on week 1 of training camp with AG so far? What has stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Justin Fields dying on the field for a day or two was major news, but definitely felt good to have some physicality brought back to the team. Braylon Allen looks like an absolute beast. It sounds like Breece is going to be, understands. I wasn't drafted by these guys. It feels like the door's open for him to get moved, which I think a lot of fans at least have that on their radar. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, I might have to steal this umbrella in just a second, or move this umbrella in just a second. Yeah, look, the physicality's there. I think the running game's strong, the defense, and watching guys like the Oklahoma drills and stuff. It's a physicality we hadn't seen under Saleh in the last few years. So that's probably the biggest difference. The refs and the accountability factor, not just for guys like on the field, but like, hey, if you're like hand checking or whatever, saucing Garrett, well, guess what? Now you're going to get called for it in camp. So at least you have, some guidance as far as penalties and how things will be called in the regular season. And hopefully we're not one of the most penalized teams in the league this year.
It's going to be fascinating to me just how Tanner Engstrand designed this offense around what Justin Fields could do, in addition to having Brees and Braylon Allen, who's had a really good camp. There is a little bit of a concern with Braylon Allen. He's not practicing today, a day after having a really good practice. So hopefully he's fine and it's just precautionary, whatever, injury situation he might be dealing with. But I'm seeing in the comments, hey, what happened to Braylon Allen? Glenn is going to talk if you're watching live at 10:55 a.m. and maybe we get an update when he speaks to the media.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right and it's nothing that's too bad. Was he out the entirety of practice? Like something that could have happened maybe yesterday, soreness, kind of a thing potentially. First day of pads on.
He's been out the whole practice, and apparently the offense misses him because the defense has won the day based on everything I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of expect the defense to be able to win most of these like training camp battles, at least like to start, while the offense sort of figures out, one, the play calling from Engstrand's side, and two, just how to learn the different terminologies and how to get everyone kind of in their positions. The offensive line is going to take some time to gel anyway, so this is really the first week for them, even though they had last week without the pads. I feel like it's a totally different animal when you're actually able to hit.
Jojo writes in, hold on to that umbrella, Ryan.
I'm struggling right now. My arm is a little sore.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Dylan Terravin says Ryan needs a 2-minute reset to sturdy up that umbrella.
I'm going to take that 2-minute reset in just a sec. I'm going to shut down my camera for a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. He's playing through it right now, folks. I'm going to take him off there. We're going to let him get situated, and I'm going to tell you guys all about Circa, because end of the month, I'm going to be at Circa Las Vegas. We'll be doing our show from Ultimate Contest Weekend, August 21st through August 23rd. We'll be live on the 21st and the 22nd. We'll preview the NFL season, preview the Jets season with some of the best analysts out there that are going to be attending Contest Weekend. It's a great time. For those who have been with the show for several years now, we always do our show leading up to the football season from Circa's Contest Weekend, where people could sign up for both of their pro football betting contests. The Circa Millions, where you make 5 picks against the spread each week, and whoever picks the most games correct, guess what? You win millions of dollars. And then the Circa Survivor. Pick one team every week. That team wins. You survive for another week. I've done both before. Both are excellent. $21 million in guaranteed prize money this year. So if you're into pro football betting, Circa is the best place to do it. Circa's sports fan heaven. And shout out to Circa Las Vegas for being a great partner on our show. Ryan will be joining us shortly. The latest from Jets camp, just seeing some of the tweets. It feels like it took till one of the last drives of practice for the Jet offense to do something. Brian Costello tweeted minutes ago, Jets offense puts together a nice drive and 2-minute offense. Fields to Mason Taylor for 15-yard TD to cap it off. Fields scrambled for a first down on 4th and 3 to keep drive alive. I think hearing the fact that Fields is not only in 11 on 11s, but also they're having plays where he's allowed to take off and run, take off and scramble. That to me is a positive, because they would not have him out there and tell him, hey, go make plays with your legs if his toe wasn't healthy enough to do it. So Fields being out there, considering what we thought the initial diagnosis was trending towards being, that's great news. Fields being out there in 11 on 11s, great news. Fields being out there and having to use his legs to pick up a 4th and 3 to keep a drive around. That's as good of news as you could get on the Jet starting quarterback. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 is with us. We're giving away a signed Wayne Corvette jersey at the end of the show. And Ryan has stabilized the umbrella, and he joins us now. Ryan, well done. Now the view looks even better.
Yeah, a little bit more water inside. I had to put the umbrella down, so the shade was an obstacle to contend with. You got my
Love that.
buddy in the background.
Little crack there.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan
Oh,
is joining us live from vacation. For those of you just tuning in, he's up in Maine as we talk all things New York Jets. You're probably going to see some Patriots fans up there, Ryan. Be careful.
Oh, dude, I've seen so much Patriot merch. It's been infuriating. I forget like literally anything to the northeast of New York and New Jersey is just all Patriot country.
The worst, the absolute worst. As far
Terrible
as
people.
some of the other things that have stood out, Ryan, I thought yesterday Glenn shouting out Malachi Moore was telling to me. He gushed about him. And then today, Malachi Moore apparently has had a really good practice from some of the tweets I've seen from reporters there. Your thoughts on him? And then we could talk more about some of the other rookies part of this draft class.
Yeah, we were pretty excited about Malachi Moore coming out of Alabama. It felt like getting him in, the 4th or 5th round, whatever it was, felt like we might have gotten a little bit of a steal in terms of a starter. So with that position being a little bit, I don't want to say newer or like uncertain, it feels like that could be a long-term potential option. And then, just the other guys in the secondary, you got Sauce, you got Carter locked up long-term, and then Azie Thomas coming in the 3rd round. Like, I'm liking how the secondary is shaping up, and that's like not even getting into, what you feel about Cisco and Stevens as well. So I'm pretty happy and excited to see how this kid develops and performs in the preseason. That's really the biggest part of preseason games, is how these rookies perform, make sure they look like they belong.
It's going to be fascinating to see if Moore could earn a starting spot, because we're talking about a guy that started for Nick Saban as a true safety. He's not a guy that has like these like crazy physical attributes, which is why he fell to day 3 of the draft. But if you're smart enough to play for Nick Saban in college at age 17 or 18, whatever you are as a freshman, that's certainly telling. And I just go back to what Glenn said when they drafted him, right? He compared him to what's his name in Detroit, right? Didn't he compare him to Brian Branch? So,
Brian Branch. Yeah.
Like, if Glenn's making that type of comparison, it tells you what they think about him. It wouldn't surprise me if he's starting opposite Andre Cisco week 1.
Yeah, 100%. And, Glenn being a former NFL DB, you feel like he's got to have a little bit more insight into that position group and confidence in terms of like what other people may not have noticed or overlooked throughout the draft process. So he's an exciting player that I'm looking forward to watching.
Speaking of rookies, Mason Taylor, another good day. He's been impressive. Glenn raving about his blocking in addition to what we've seen from him as a pass catcher. What are your expectations for him in year 1 with this team?
Yeah, just look like you belong. Admittedly, when I see him next to some of the other guys, he looks a little bit slighter in frame. So as pads, continue to stay on, does he continue to have good blocking? Does he continue to catch well? As long as he looks like he belongs, I feel like Fields is going to have a nice little target out of the backfield. I think a lot of it's going to stay near the line of scrimmage for the most part between the running backs, the tight end, and then take your shots with Garrett when you can. So yeah, Mason Taylor, look like you belong, and that's a step in the right direction for me.
Do you think he could be the second leading receiving option on this team? Is that possible for a guy that is a rookie at a position that until the last couple of years, we're not really used to rookies dominating the tight end spot?
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible. I don't feel like Lazard or Reynolds or Arian Smith or any of those guys are going to be able to take up the mantle of second most receptions. Maybe you throw a nod towards Brees if he's on this roster the duration of the year, or one of the running backs is potentially like a few more yards in the receiving game, but you got to think Mason Taylor's got to have the inside track, unless Rucker rekindles some type of relationship with Fields or something. But I feel like Taylor's really going to get the lion's share of potential targets.
As far as Armand Membu, we know he's going to start at right tackle. With him at right tackle and the other 4 starters on this team all haven't played together, including a guy in Olu Fashanu who was the 11th overall pick last year. What is your reasonable expectations for this offensive line? Are you a believer that they could be top 10 and clearly raise the floor of what this season could be for us as Jet fans?
Well, I think having the strong offensive line is a huge piece of it, and having a lot of the guys returning, at least the interior part of that offensive line. Obviously Olu too, towards the end of last year started, but getting them all to play together, getting them additional reps, and if they can stay healthy, it's going to be huge. I mean, what was it? Buffalo, I don't think it was last year. I think it was 2 years ago, didn't have an injury till the playoffs. And if you have consistency, continuity across your offensive line, now you can run the ball. You can set up, a whole bunch of different pass plays, and because guys know how each other block. When you start rotating in your third and fourth tackles, or your third or fourth guards into the mix-up, you're not just impacting that individual position. You're impacting the guys on either end of that player as well. So you're, swap out AVT for someone else. Now you're impacting Titman at center and Membu at tackle. So if they could stay healthy, this offensive line really can be something special.
Couple breaking news items from Jets camp. Aaron Glenn meeting with reporters. Right now, we're going to carry the press conference live in just a bit after we say goodbye to Ryan and let him get back to his vacation here. But Aaron Glenn did confirm that the Jets are signing Nick Folk to compete for the starting kicking job. So that's great news there, Jet fans. Aaron Glenn also saying that Braylon Allen is dealing with, quote, knee soreness, which is why he didn't practice today. Off day tomorrow. So they wanted to give him an extra day off, and we'll reevaluate before Thursday's practice. So the Jets are going full pads this week, and per NFL rules, you do 2 padded practices, boom, you need a break as you work yourself back into things. So hopefully the knee soreness for Braylon Allen is precautionary, and he'll be back out there on Thursday, as Aaron Glenn alluded to. Ryan, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like that. I like the Nick Folk signing. I feel like competition in general is just, good across the board. And Folk is, clearly one of our guys from, the past. That would be nice to, if he can put it together, perfect. Braylon Allen not having, seeming like it's just precautionary. Hopefully nothing, goes further with that knee or anything like that. But I'm feeling more confident hearing that coming from Glenn.
Nick Folk is back. The Jets have not won a playoff game since he was on the roster. And how about this for a nice little twist? Nick Folk played with Jason Taylor, Mason's dad.
That's quite the twist. It's surreal to feel how long Taylor was in the league, and honestly, how long Folk's been in the league too.
It really is amazing. Nick Folk, 2010, New York Jets. They live on. That's what we needed. Mike Westhoff, by the way, speaking of Jets special teams, Mike Westhoff was also at practice today helping out. Aaron Glenn said that he would be stopping by camp, and today was day one of Westhoff at Jets training camp, which I love.
I can't get enough of Westy. Between him and his Saints ties and obviously Glenn's ties and everything, they've had a good relationship over the years, and Westy's one of the best of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 is with us here. We're talking all things New York Jets. We survived the Justin Fields scare, Ryan. What was your level of confidence in Tyrod if he had to become the starter? And you as a Jet fan, I know you're working during the day with your real job as this is unfolding. What the heck was that entire sequence like for you as a diehard fan of this team?
You're talking about when Fields went down for the Yep. Oh man, I was actually out on the golf course. I was working, and I see the little ticker go across my phone. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is like, I can't even get upset at this point. It just feels comical. I feel like we lose a quarterback every year to injury in the preseason or training camp. So yeah, my heart skipped a beat. I obviously want to see Fields play and get the opportunity, to see a young team around him, and with the new coaching staff, it felt almost Geno Smith-esque, where it was like, okay, Geno's going to get his opportunity to finally shine. Everything's finally behind him. Like, that's how I felt about Fields. And then to find out it's just a dislocated toe and we didn't lose anything major is a big sigh of relief for sure.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. The Jets have signed Nick Folk. For those of you just tuning in, Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 is with us here. Ryan, I don't want to completely drink all the Kool-Aid coming out of training camp, but even the most negative Jet fan, I think, has been impressed by Glenn and some of the things that we're hearing. Have your expectations for the Jets this year changed at all since camp started? Your thoughts on what this team can be in 2025?
Yeah, my expectations aren't going to change until I start seeing them winning. Like, I think it's easy to get really excited by the training camp videos and the One Jets Drive stuff that'll be coming out and everything. But for me, my expectations were set pretty low. After 2 years of sky high expectations with Rodgers, I'm trying to protect myself from the pain of another sadness filled season. So, I sort of said 6 wins was kind of where I figured my head would be at. And if they can prove me wrong, I'm going to be rooting for a win every single week. So you get win week 1. Well, okay, let's do it for week 2. Let's do it for week 3, and let's compound and see how things shake out throughout the season. But, I want to see a more accountable team, so less penalties. I feel like is a good grading formula for Glenn. I think keeping the locker room together regardless of what happens, I think is a big part of that. It felt like our locker room culture kind of eroded the last few years. So really maybe non-win-loss related things as far as a coaching staff expectation goes. But then, the more and more they win, the more expectation I'll start to put on them week over week.
Ryan, I'm going to play you something from Aaron Glenn that was so refreshing to hear as a Jet fan, and then I want your immediate reaction to it. This was Connor Hughes asking Aaron Glenn about some new pass rush moves we've seen from third-year pro Will McDonald.
We saw a lot of that. The speed last year we saw a lot of with Will.
Yep.
The spins, the coming around the edge. The power that he put on, I don't know if you need the replay if you haven't seen it yet, but he went over him at one point. Is that even a new element to his game when you said he added some weight?
Coaching.
Is that now what he can do?
Coaching. It's coaching.
How so? Like, what do you mean?
Because he can do it. You just said he's never done it last year, right?
Not much.
Now you see him do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
Coaching.
Sounds like
It's coaching. Yes.
Sounds like there's a little bit of zest maybe for, throwing a little bit of shade towards the last regime. Maybe they felt Will McDonald was too slight of frame to go through a tackle. Maybe there's some kind of, I don't really know how to justify it. I know Will McDonald's put on a few more pounds, so maybe he's a little bit stronger to put on that type of performance, but it clearly feels like Glenn is throwing a little bit of shade at Saleh with that comment.
I mean, speaking of shade at Robert Saleh, here's AVT talking about Aaron Glenn and the difference he has seen in his head coach.
Kind of backing on what Sauce and Garrett said, I can see this thing turning around for sure, especially with Glenn, the type of coach he is. He praises physicality, but even more like accountability. I think that's very important for a head coach to do. It's something I haven't seen as much of in my career.
I mean, without saying it, he's saying it there now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's how long is AVT's career really? Did he have a year with Todd Bowles? No, he would have had a year with Gase, right? That first year.
No, 21. He's only had Saleh and Oberg as his head coaches. Think about it.
Oh, you're right. That's right. Okay, I'm getting my years mixed up. So that's, no accountability in his years. That would even be pre-Rodgers too, which is like a little kind of alarming. I felt like the accountability factor came in when Rodgers was able to kind of do what he wanted, but that seems like, a full-on coaching, 4-year span from Saleh, not just the final 2 or year and a half that Saleh had with Rodgers. So clearly a different vibe in the Jets locker room coming from the players.
Few minutes left with Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Then we'll go and listen in to Aaron Glenn's training camp presser today. Cold Stone with a super chat. It's definitely coaching with McDonald. He only really put on 5 pounds from last year. And we do see guys, edge rushers, take a massive step forward typically in that third year. We thought Jermaine was going to do it last year, and then he unfortunately got hurt. I mean, your thoughts, Ryan, on the expectations for McDonald with seemingly much better coaching in 2025?
Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities to go after the pass rusher. And hopefully we're in a situation where we're keeping games close later into games that allows him to do that. Once you start getting down on the scoreboard and other teams start rushing the ball at you, that's where it's going to neutralize some of Will McDonald. So as long as he has the opportunity to get after the pass rusher, I think 10-plus sacks is an easy target for him to hit this year. And the pass rush in general, just having the ability to really tee off. I'm excited for JJ too. Obviously, you just touched on him. The 19-mile-an-hour bursts that we saw from him last week in the training camp videos, him getting cleared is encouraging as well. I think those 2 players in particular across the entirety of the Jets roster, from a health perspective from JJ and just a next step perspective from Will McDonald, I think are 2 of the biggest storylines the entirety of this season for the New York Jets.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I think ultimately, like, if you're the Jets Like your big goal has to be to, at the end of the year, feel like, do we have our 2 future edge rushers next to Quinnen Williams up the middle? Like, are we going to commit long-term to JJ? Like, is Will McDonald our guy that we want to invest in? Because you could extend both and you can get them below market price if you're that committed to it. And that's further building your roster if you want to think about the big picture. Like, I feel like we're all focused on Fields, and rightfully so. We need to know if he's the guy at quarterback going forward. But there's other players on this team in year one you hope they clearly get an answer on, and then they keep building the team from there. And I think the 2 edge guys are a perfect example of that.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like this is a true evaluation year. Like guys that are, want to trade for a wide receiver 2 or go out and spend big money on a wide receiver 2. I'm not like big on that. I'd rather see what we have in-house here. And then as you get into the offseason, you know who you want to extend, who you want to build around, what money you want to invest. Breece Hall falls into that same kind of category for me. Like if they're going into like, let's say week 4, week 5, and they're still like, I don't know if we want to even franchise tag Breece at the end of the year. If we know we don't want to give him a contract or something, I want them to make the move and make the decision that's right for the long-term haul of this team. Regardless of who that is, because Jets, they might figure out, hey, Fields is our guy. Well, guess what? Now this top pick might have to be an edge rusher if JJ doesn't bounce back or if Will McDonald regresses. That we're going to have to use a premium pick probably on 2 of the most important positions in football, being quarterback and edge rusher going into next year. And having an answer on those would be huge.
Speaking of quarterback, Justin Fields is speaking with the media right now. He's wearing a protective plastic cover over his right cleat, and he called it almost like a steel toe. He says he's pretty much back to full speed after a second full practice back. Andy Vasquez noting Fields had key 10-yard scramble on touchdown drive to end practice. So, once again, considering we thought the worst on Thursday last week, the fact that Justin Fields is scrambling for 10 yards in practice and he says he feels like he's basically back to what he was is about as positive of an update any of us could have imagined we'd be talking about so few days removed from this incident last week. What? We can't hear you, Ryan. The old vacation mic issue. Testing 1 2. Can't hear you. No. Come back in and we'll bring you back. Technology, man. Isn't it the worst? We'll get Ryan back on here, and then we'll wrap up our conversation with him. While we wait for him to come back, why don't we do the Azie Awards, baby? They continue on our program today. Big shout out once again to Committee Chairman Boomtown and the rest of the committee that helped us come up with 24 different awards to give out to pay homage to the last calendar year on this show. And today's category is the Azie for the best fake name on the program. Your nominees for this prestigious Azie Award are as followed. Kyle Clifton. Dun, 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 dun. Mike D's Nuts. And Black Gypsy. Those are your 4 nominees for the Azie Awards. And now it's time to vote for your Azie Award winner for the best fake name. Voting starts right now.
It's time for the Azie Awards. Gotta get through Jets off season. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? These Asmaniac callers are legends. It's up to the chat. It's your time to vote. You gotta decide who's better. Asmaniacs drive the Jake Asman show. That's why we gotta have these Azie Awards.
Good luck to all. Good luck to all. Ryan joins us back from vacation. Ryan, the internet can be a cruel place. Appreciate you bearing with the tech issues here to come back on.
No, of course. I got a little notification on my side that threw my audio for a loop, and then it just went off the rails real quick.
StreamYard still not having a great software for anyone on a mobile is it's real tough. But I leave it at that. Final question for you before we get out of here. Based on what you have heard so far, are you anticipating any surprise players to make this team? I know it's early, but call your shot. Is there anyone that you think, hey, I really didn't consider this guy as a real factor on the 53. Now all of a sudden you have a different opinion on their season or if they're going to make the team. You could kind of take the question anywhere you want.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I don't know if there's any real surprise players that I think making the roster. Not this early, at least. I mean, maybe you consider having a third quarterback on the roster being maybe some sort of a surprise instead of having two with Fields and Tyrod. I'd like to see Cook make the roster on his merits and whatnot. Outside of that, it's probably going to take a preseason game for me to like.
Uh-oh. Ryan. No. Well, maybe it's not meant to be, folks. We'll let Ryan get back to his vacation because he's up in Maine. He's in Patriots country, and you wonder, is 6 rings behind some of these tech issues? Before we go to Aaron Glenn, Jack with a super chat. Don't often leave Halloween Town often, but I will be at Circa again soon. It really is an amazing place. The huge TV screens are out of this world. Jack, well said. I completely agree with you. And shout out to, once again, all the Asmaniacs who were at Circa a couple years ago when we did our Jets Raiders road trip there. That was a ton of fun. With that said, why don't we hear from the head coach, Aaron Glenn, spoke moments ago, right after the Jets wrapped up their second training camp practice of the summer. Let's go to One Jets Drive and listen in to the head coach of the NYJ.
Good morning. I wish it was a better morning. The thing that happened yesterday at the league office, man, just as an organization, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families. It's always tough to hear things like that and really to try to stay focused, but you have to because you have a job to do. But you think about the families that go through that, and it's tough. It's tough. So I want to make sure that I state that first and foremost. Secondly, on the injury front, we held Braylon out. He has some knee soreness. Since we have an off day tomorrow, I think it was the best decision to really just give him 2 days for the most part, and then we'll reevaluate as we go forward and see when he'll be available for practice. But it's just knee soreness. All right. Other than that, listen, I thought the practice today was exactly what we talk about when it comes to, man, some days the offense will have a great day. Other days the defense will have a great day. And it's always going to be this jockeying for position. And today I thought the defense really stood out on what they came out to do. So hats off to those guys. Just like the other day, the offense won, all right, but the defense responded. That's the one thing I told you guys about early in camp. What I want to see is if when you win, can you consistently continue to win? And when you lose, how do you come back and you get you a win? And I thought our defense did a good job of that. So good spirited practice, highs and lows within practice, but for the most part, I thought it was a good practice. Questions?
Aaron Glenn's presser from Tuesday. We're watching live right here on the Jake Asman Show.
To look at it and go, okay, it's a good day for the defense, bad day for the offense, versus when you're just a coordinator and you're just looking at it through one lens. You know what I mean? Like there's two sides to it. How do you kind of look at the good and the bad?
What, as a head coach, that's what you have to do. You have to look at this thing from a wide lens for the most part, and make sure you correct the things that needs to be corrected when you don't do things the right way, and celebrate the things that needs to be celebrated when they are done the right way. And the thing that I like more than anything, just like I said before, is, man, it's a jockeying for position on who's going to come over top every day. And I like that about our players. Man, they want to win every rep, but you know what? That's just not realistic. So as a head coach, I just make sure when I talk to the staffs, I mean, this is what we got to do better when we do lose. And when we win, man, let's continue to do these things. And let's improve on doing these things.
How would you evaluate Justin?
Say it again?
How would you evaluate? You said the defense won the day. How would you evaluate Justin?
Well, I got to get a chance to look at the film to give you a true evaluation of that. But for the most part, I just thought overall the defense did a better job today.
What do you think specifically the defense was doing to make for them to win the day?
Well, I thought they were physical. Man, you've seen a number of plays on the ball, and I thought they understood exactly their coverage responsibility for the most part. I think some of our interior guys did a really good job of winning their one-on-ones and getting around and getting close to the quarterback. So there was a number of things that just stood out. But again, as I watched the tape, then I could really tell exactly what happened, whether it's some just wins one-on-one, where they bust from the offensive side. And to me, that's what I have to do to really get a good evaluation. Then be able to talk to the staff about here's some things that we got to get better at.
Pretty good on that 4th and 2 scramble.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's all the way back?
I can't say that. He still has this huge deal on his toe, so guys won't step on it. But to go back to what I was saying, and that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up, because even though the defense had a really good day against our offense, you saw in that 2-minute drill how the offense picked it up, and they actually got in there and got the score. So you want to see that. You want to see that. And again, it just goes back to everything that I talk about with the guys. Listen, things are going to happen in this game that you're not going to like, but how do you respond to that? And to me, when you get in stressful situations, that's one thing I have to coach with our guys, that it's never over. I want our guys to always understand we can always win the game no matter what the situation is. And that kind of proves the point of our offense not having a good day. But in a 2-minute drill, they went in there and drove the score.
Do you have a protective thing in his shoe or something?
Yeah, just to make sure somebody don't step on his toe.
What's the situation at kicker right now? As we saw you guys made a move this morning with Davis, and you had Folk in yesterday.
Yeah, so what we did, we brought in Nick Folk. Listen, he is a very established kicker in this league. When you go back and you look at his stats from the last couple of years, man, they've been above board. That's and I've said this from the beginning. Anybody that can help us win games, man, we're gonna take a look at that. And obviously he was available. And listen, and the terms worked out. And I thought Mooj and Nick did a really good job. And I'm happy that he chose us, all right, to be a part of what we're trying to do.
So he is signed.
He is signed.
From your overall perspective, who are some of the players that stood out on offense and defense?
Are you saying from today or just overall? Okay, defensively, listen, Stevens is continually doing a really good job on a daily
Brandon
basis.
Stevens highlight.
And I expect that from him. Quinn did a great job. I thought Quinn beat some one-on-one blocks today for the most part. I thought our linebackers really did a good job of running, because we expect those guys to do that. And you're going to always hear Quincy no matter what, good or bad. So I want to go back and look at the tape and see exactly what he did, because his mouth seemed like he had a really good day today. So, but he usually do. So on the offensive side, I thought our running backs ran hard. The one thing that we want to pride ourselves on is, man, those 35 yards, like we have to be accustomed to doing that, because we know how teams are going to play us for the most part, and our guys got to be able to make sure we push the pile. And I thought our O-line did a good job today too.
We've talked about several times, and you've talked about your experience in Detroit, and flipping things there, and now trying to do that here. Year one, you guys won 3 games.
Yeah.
There. So are growing pains kind of expected? Like, I'm sure you're measuring progress, not just wins and losses right now. But what are the growing pains like in that year one of a new staff?
Well, I really don't look at it like that. Even in Detroit, we didn't look at it like that. It just so happened that we didn't win games, because for the most part, man, we had some pretty close games within that. To me, I just look at the progress of our team every day and how we operate. And sometimes that doesn't equate to wins, but when you look at it, you see us improving just like we did in Detroit, man, that's something that we can point to and say, guys, we're getting better. We just got to get over that hump, all right, to get these things to win. And to me, that's what I look at. And I'm starting to do it in practice. Right? I'm not worried about the wins and losses. I'm just worried about how we're improving every day to make sure we get over that hump.
Is there something to learning how to win? Like you had it probably here when you guys went from 96 to 97, right?
Yeah.
Is there something about that, like learning how to win?
Absolutely. The first thing I learned to win, it is not all about talent. It's about the players that you bring in. It's about the discipline that you have. It's about the details that you have. It's about the execution of your offense and your defense. If you get 11 men on the field that can do that, there's a good chance that you're going to be successful.
You're watching Aaron Glenn's press conference after practice on Tuesday. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, Jet fans. Haven't already? We're live every day.
I had a number of guys that I've talked to, and I'm not going to let those conversations go outside of here. But absolutely, that's every day. And I just like having relationships with my players and being able to talk to them. Other than football, like what else is going on in your life? Now, most of the conversations are about football right now because we're in training camp. But man, when the off season, a number of guys come and sat in my office. We chopped it up and just talked.
A couple more. Can you talk about the competition with the coordinators? I mean, you guys are all working together, but it's Tanner and you got Wilkes, and maybe can you reflect on how you and Ben made yourself better and made respective units better?
When you want to build competition throughout your team, you got to have everybody on board that's with competition. So I expect our coordinators to compete, and I know they are. I mean, you hear the chirping between those two guys on good plays and bad plays, and that's a good thing, because usually the players start to feed off that when they see their coaching. I'm not just going to say the coordinators, when they just see their coaches in general fired up and competing against each other. So I want this to be a competitive environment for everybody, not just the players, not just the coaches, just in general. Because when you do that, man, you end up building an environment of just competitive people.
We talked about the power and the speed of Will McDonald, but is there something like that you've noticed from talking to him, or that is leading him to this type of play?
The player wants to be really, really good, and to me, that's that was the number one thing. Well, the first thing, let me say that the first thing that he said when he came to my office, he really wants to be good. So now he wants to be coached how to be able to do that. And I said that statement the other day, and I don't know if you guys really understood what I was saying when I kept saying it's coaching. And that's what I was talking about. He wants to be coached. He wants to be coached hard. He wants to be coached how to do it the right way. And our guys are going to continue to do that with him.
Where do you see his ceiling type of thing?
I'm not going to put a ceiling on him. But I know this. He's a damn good player, and I expect big things out of him.
Great answer.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
That's Aaron Glenn's press conference after practice on Tuesday. You're watching the Jake Asman Show live on YouTube. We talk Jets each and every day. Help me get to 50,000 subscribers by clicking the subscribe button right over here. Some takeaways there from Aaron Glenn. He noted that Braylon Allen has knee soreness, and with the Jets having an off day planned for tomorrow, they wanted to give him back-to-back days to recharge and be rested up. It does not sound very serious. Glenn highlighted the defense having won the day after the offense won the day yesterday, so he liked that the defense responded. He noted Justin Fields being out there and still not at 100% according to Glenn, but obviously he took off and scrambled for 10 yards on 4th down at the end of practice in the 2-minute drill. So certainly arrow remains pointed up with Justin Fields. And then that last part, talking about the coaching of Will McDonald, I mean, he's cleaning it up a little bit, but the comments about it's coaching with McDonald, that to me was still a shot at the previous staff for not asking Will McDonald to do more than what he came into the league doing, just being a good pass rusher with his speed. So Glenn cleaned it up a little bit, but I thought these quotes from Garrett Wilson, who spoke after Glenn, are incredibly revealing. Garrett Wilson on the difference between Aaron Glenn's camp and the camps he's experienced in the NFL. Rosenblatt did not use Salah's name. He should. Garrett Wilson's played for one head coach before Aaron Glenn. That's it. It's Robert Saleh. Wilson said, quote, the competitiveness is not just talking about being competitive. It just can't be, we'll turn it on when the games come. It's the way we're practicing, the intensity, the stakes feel higher. There is no doubt the country club environment at One Jets Drive is done. Glenn at least has eradicated that. Now we will see if it translates to winning games in the regular season. But all we could do is judge Aaron Glenn based on what happens in real time and what his own players have said. And Garrett Wilson joins Breece Hall, AVT, Tyrod Taylor, among other players who maybe without doing it intentionally, their comments talking about why things are different with Glenn makes Saleh and the previous regime look worse by the day. They do. They do. And I was a Saleh guy for a while, but, I mean, the comments are the comments. And also, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about what Aaron Glenn mentioned at the beginning of his press conference, talking about the just tragic shooting that occurred yesterday at 345 Park Avenue right here in Midtown in Manhattan. Glenn said thoughts and prayers go out to the families affected and that it's hard to hear about things like that and go about your day. So obviously, terrible situation that unfolded yesterday in Midtown, and just horrible to hear about that, but obviously sending well wishes to everyone involved. So that's what Aaron Glenn started this press conference with. I thought overall another good presser from Glenn. Off day tomorrow as the Jets ease into pads coming on. 2 practices and pads, off day, then a reset. Of course, we got the green and white scrimmage on Saturday where the Jets will really get after it. And that should be certainly interesting. And then For those tuning in late, we talked about it before the presser. Glenn confirmed it during the press conference. This guy is back, baby. Nick Folk back at kicker for the New York Jets. He's competing with the thicker kicker for the kicker job. The Jets aren't just going to hand it to Folk, although Folk, if you just look at what he did the last 2 years, if he's anywhere close to that, he's going to win the job. Nick Folk, the last 2 years, has led the NFL in field goal make percentage. He still could flat out kick. Now, sometimes an old kicker could just lose it. See Greg Zuerlein. But Folk, the last 2 years, was at 96.7 and 95.5% in field goal percentage with the Titans. And for any longtime Jet fan, you should have nothing but praise for Nick Folk. He still should be the Jets kicker today. I mean, they never should have let him go. But he joined the Jets in 2010. They went to the AFC Championship game for the second straight year. And Nick Folk hit one of the most dramatic kicks in Jet history. He hit a kick that beat Peyton Manning and the Colts in the last ever game Peyton Manning played as a Colt. And then the Jets went into Foxborough the following week and beat the Patriots. Haven't won a playoff game since. And what's crazy is Nick Folk played with Jason Taylor, who was on the 2010 Jets. Mason Taylor's dad. So Nick Folk's been around so long that he is now going to get a chance to be teammates with one of his former teammates' sons. So just crazy. But I am glad that they signed Nick Folk, let him compete for a job with thicker kicker. The Jets already released Caden Davis. So thicker kicker, that's Harrison Mevis. He's been better than Caden Davis, but the Jets still wanted to add competition, which is good. The only criticism I have of the Jets signing Nick Folk, Aaron Glenn said he doesn't care about any player, how old you are, if he thinks you could help the team. Then why'd we get rid of Thomas Morstead? Because I think until proven otherwise, the Jets have downgraded that punter. They've already released one of the two punters that they brought in to compete for the job. So, if you're going to sign Nick Folk, why couldn't we just keep Morstead? That'd be my only criticism. That said, I'm pro adding Nick Folk, so I like the move. All right, phone line's open for those of you who want in on the conversation. We'll get to your super chats and channel memberships right now. And if you're tuning in late, this right here is a signed Wayne Corbett jersey with a certificate of authentication included. If you gift a membership, you're in it to win it, baby. So gift away, and you have a chance to win the jersey at the end of the show. And if you don't win that, raffle number 34 next week on the show features a signed DeBrickashaw Ferguson football and Hall of Famer Broadway Joe Namath signed jersey. Comments, questions, super chats. Here we go. Rick Kent is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Let's go.
Money, 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 money.
Colin Wolford is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
If you got a membership from either Colin or Rick, make sure you thank him. David Atkins is in the raffle now for 1 as well. Spencer Green with a super chat. What's the raffle today? How do I gift memberships to get in? Gift memberships from the laptop or desktop, because if you have an iPhone, YouTube, for whatever reason, won't let you do it. Or you can send in a $10 super chat, Spencer, and that applies for 2 raffle tickets to win this Corbett jersey right here. Phantom Green and White with a super chat. Aaron Glenn just sounds like he has a plan. This team already has an identity. Run it down your throat, plus aggressive defense. Solid teams equals 0 identity. Love AG. I'll tell you what, I am certainly impressed with the direction that the Jets have as far as the leadership goes from a coaching standpoint with Glenn. And I'm confident in Wilkes as a coordinator. We need to see what Engstrand is. But if you believe in Aaron Glenn, then you have to give him the full autonomy to pick his coaching staff. And hopefully he hired a good staff. I think that did Salah in. Especially on offense. The O-line coach being Keith Carter. Disaster. Hackett. Disaster. By the time they promoted Downing, it was too late. Spencer Green figured out how to get in the raffle. He is in for 2. I hope this gets me in the raffle. I can't figure out how to gift memberships. Also, can we get an update on Beast and his veggies? We will hear from Beastbreaker at some point. For those who saw the first show yesterday, Beast showed up with the largest zucchini that any of us have maybe ever seen. So we definitely need to follow up on that. The Austrian Jet Fan checks in with a super sticker. Thank you, Austrian Jet Fan. And Peter joins the Asmaniac raffle for 1 by gifting a channel membership. To your calls we go. And first up today on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man who is up for the Azie for Best Fake Name, Kyle Clifton.
I think my name is only great when that one uses it. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I want people to know that I'm not Bruce Coslett. I got a big old head like Bruce Coslett. I got thick glasses like Bruce Coslett. You know, I'm middle-aged like Bruce Coslett was when he was the coach. But I can't be confused. I'm going to be, you know, Kyle Clifton here when I'm on the channel. That's what I want to do.
Well said.
I think that Glenn has pretty much gotten it right, except for what you said regarding the kicking game. Like, so much of what they did was to get younger, to the point where it became almost become the youngest team in the league contest without really regard for what the consequences would be. Like, if you're not going to use this cap money this year, is the idea to roll it over for next year? And really, in the whole scheme of things, what does the, you know, maybe $1 million or whatever that you saved on Morstead mean for signing free agents next year? I'm not sure, right? I think that we all felt pretty comfortable with Morstead, although we know with older players that the wheels can come off at any time. I don't begrudge them wanting to get a look at other players in camp, but then bring them into camp, and if they outperform Morstead, then that's when you cut them. That's the criticism I would have, and really one of the only criticisms I would have of AG so far. You know, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Tried but true. Like, you bring these guys in, and you push the older veterans out. And if they're not ready to be pushed out, then they stay. That's all.
I think that's fair. And look, once again, I'm in favor of them signing Nick Falk, but my criticism would be, if you were going to have a 40-year-old kicker, just keep the punter who was beloved by everyone and wanted to be here, who was still effective last year. Like, to me, it would have been a no-brainer.
And who knows? Maybe Mevis will be better. You know, like,
right.
You know, and certainly, you know, maybe he'll give us a different element on sneaks or whatever, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't want to tackle that guy coming around the end.
100%.
But, you know, that's another story entirely. But I appreciate your time as ever, Jake.
Kyle, excellent call as usual. It's a little confusing if they end up rocking with Nick Falk, why they just couldn't keep Morstead, but you know, for the most part, I think if that's our biggest issue, fine. We'll see. I haven't seen, you know, the Jets' new punter in person yet. I just know he beat out Kai Kroger. So you have Nick Falk and Harrison Mevis competing for the starting kicker. And then right now there's only one punter that's on this team right now. The Jets' current punter is Austin McNamara, who has never kicked or punted, I should say, in a game before. He punted at Texas Tech. Cincinnati waived him last year. He never appeared in a game. So, that's the punter right now. We'll see. Comments, questions, your super chats. They cut the line on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline. Up next is a man who needs zero introduction. But guess what? We're going to give him one anyway.
It's time for another Vman call. Hopefully he's not sleeping. Adios mio.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
V-Man, how are you doing?
Doing fine. You know, training camp starting to pick up, you know. Just glad that it's been quiet, you know. Nothing too serious.
So far, so good, which I guess is definitely a positive considering what we thought happened to Justin Fields the other day.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Holt. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think it's good, and I love the fact that that you hear the players, you hear Glenn clapping back at Saul, and I think there is a definite difference in their approach, and I like it. I like the way this team is handling training camp. They're focusing. Like I said, I like the more physicality. I like he's talking about coach. That I just like the way he's handling it.
So you're in favor of what you've seen so far. You're positive on the Glenn hire.
Yeah, and like the way I feel like with this team, and you would talk about what I would measure success with this team is that they're not going to lose games because they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're just going to lose games because it's just not their day. And that's what I think is going to be a good measurement of. Because look, we're not going to be we're not probably maybe not going to be above 500. We'll be like hanging around there, 7, 8 wins. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to the 9 win mark. But I think what's the measure of success for this team is, you're going to see them lose games. But you're like, that just wasn't their day. Instead of saying they just shot themselves in the foot 6,000 times.
I hope. I mean, look, I still think if they lose games, fans are going to become impatient. But hopefully, we see enough improvement this year that you feel good about the coaching.
No, I understand. We're always going to be. We're fans. We're going to be mad if we lose. That's just part of the course. But what I'm saying is, you see the loss, but you see, it wasn't that they lost because they just made stupid mistakes. It's just they just got outplayed. That's what I mean. Because there's a difference. Because you're frustrated, but it's not like you can say. But it's not like they said they shot themselves in the foot. It wasn't like it was a boneheaded pass interference call or a stupid roughing the passer where you didn't need to do anything.
It's well said. And I think what we want to see early from Glenn is like a signature win at the beginning of the season. So the players that have bought in clearly this summer so far feel like their buy-in is reinforced with success early because everyone wants to do the Bill Parcells thing with Glenn. Remember Bill Parcells' first game, Jet fans? They go out to Seattle as big underdogs. And the Jets went 41-3 that day, a year after they were the worst team in football. So, right away, all the players on the 97 Jets thought Bill Parcells was a miracle worker, and there was complete buy-in, and the program was finally starting to actually see tangible results and turn things around. Win week 1. Go out there and make Aaron Rodgers look bad, and that could be huge for this team.
I think that is I think that's the way it's going to be. I feel confident. They're going to have that big win early on in this year. Players are going to buy in, and I like his answer to the Bill Parcells stuff. It's like I'm not he's not trying to be a version. He's just going to be himself. He's going to be the best version of Aaron Glenn that he can be. He's not trying to be Parcells. He's not nobody is Bill Parcells but Bill Parcells. It's like nobody is Bill Belichick but Bill Belichick. Nobody is Sean Payton
Vman except Vman.
Whatever. You gotta say nobody. It's don't win by being somebody else. You win by being the best possible version of yourself.
When was the last time you won, Vman? When were you a winner in something?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been that long.
You could use a win, V-Man. I want to get you a win in life.
I don't know.
Where's your guitar? Play the chat a song. You always seem to win when you do that.
Let me see. I put them all away because I just the other day I installed them. I finally got fixed in my closet, so it's away right now.
Go get it. I'll wait for you.
All right. Probably. I'll just get the acoustic because I'm not gonna sit. I'll just get the acoustic because I'm not gonna bother with hooking up an amp or anything. I don't even know if this thing's in tune. I can't remember the last time I tuned it.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the songbirds of our generations, V-Man, will perform live on the program now as the vibes remain high for Jet fans.
All right, that's enough. I gotta go visit my grandfather, so I'm gonna be heading out.
V-Man, that's a win right there. Well done. Great to get you back on the program playing some classics.
All right. All right, see ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, V-Man.
That's the end of that Vman call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
What a moment, folks. All right. Couple super chats and memberships. Shout out to D Stern. He took his 2 kids to training camp last week. One Asmaniac sent me tickets. We passed them over to D Stern, and he had a great time. He just gifted a membership and joined the membership program on his own. So 2 raffle tickets right there for D Stern. John checks in with a $20 super chat. He earns 5 raffle tickets. He says, I love the Nick Folk signing. Needed the vet in that crucial spot. It could be the difference in the Jets winning 5 games or 7 this year, 7 or 9. Having a real kicker. This team is not going to have an offense that's going to be able to make up for a ton of mistakes and have, the ability to overcome missed kicks. I just don't see them having that type of team, that offense. You're going to win games if your kicker could come through with 3 kicks in a crucial spot in a game. Nick Folk is still one of the best in the league statistically. Let's see if he fell off now at age 40. But he was really good last year and the year before. So was Greg Zerline. That's why you bring him in, let him compete against this rookie. The thicker kicker's had a good camp so far. After one bad day, he's been really good since. And then you go from there. So I agree, John. Big Country in the house. He's in the raffle for 2. He writes in, Beast, are you going to bring that zucchini to P. Diddy's house? And should we be happy about the Folk signing? We know what he could do. Yes, definitely be excited about it. Doesn't mean he's definitely the kicker, but there's no harm in letting him compete for the job. And as far as your first question, it remains unclear what exactly is going to happen with the Beastbreaker zucchini. So I can't necessarily comment on that. Let's bring on a guy we just saw on the screen. He was giving V-Man the flashing lights for an encore. Jason in Jerusalem's next today. What's up, Jason?
Great win there, VMAC. Keep it up. Let's bring a winning streak going.
Love it.
Love the Folk signing. Hope he doesn't make the team. I'd love their idea of having a veteran there to guide Mevis. The biggest criticism of the previous regime is that Zach didn't have a veteran with him until it really got too late. And to have a kicker where you have a vet right behind you, I mean, Mevis has a great leg. Hopefully he can work on the accuracy, but the mental aspects are something you really could learn only from a previous kicker. So I love having that body in camp as an athlete and not as a coach. It changes the whole dynamic.
You are aware that you referred to V-Man as VMAC.
I confused BMAC and VMan, so yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what can I say? At least he didn't talk about his, why he's pro women. Remember that wonderful rant? Yes. How come that wasn't nominated for one of the Azies?
It just missed the cut. I mean, the meltdowns yesterday were historically great. It's tough.
Yeah, and none of your meltdowns made it. It was only guests, or they overshadowed you. Like your Denver meltdown was a classic.
Yeah, I was not involved in any of the categories because I'm the host of the Azies. So we let the community, whether it be guest or caller or commenter, play the role of the nominees.
So you couldn't get a nominee, man.
I mean,
That's,
I didn't want to though. Like it's already like the Azies are about the people that make the show, not the show host.
No, but they're us remembering some of the classic moments of the show and the classic people of the show. You should have like we should take the top 4 Jake Asman meltdowns, and we could choose our favorite one out of all of them.
All right, it's a fair criticism, and if the committee wants to do something like that for next year, we will certainly consider it.
Okay. One thing, I'm loving how Glenn is running camp. This goes to show you all these people are saying Glenn is so much like Saleh. You have a first-time DC giving him the reins, and we have to do differently. Different people do things differently, even if they appear the same on paper. I mean, on paper, the Saleh hiring and the Glenn hiring look very much similar. They're running things very differently. And it just goes to show you that you could hire two first-time head coaches who were DCs previously, and it's not really an issue. You don't need to change and go completely opposite.
Yeah, I obviously, when people say, oh, Glenn Saleh all over again, that was never fair. That said, I understood why people looked at the Jets hiring Glenn and said, first-time defensive coach? Really? So I get that. But Glenn's unique because of the fact, and I said this even when he was hired and I was someone who preferred an experienced head coach, he played in this market before, and he got his post-football career in football start with the Jets as a scout. So it's deeply personal to him. He's got a good relationship with the owner. So while Glenn is, of course, a first-time coach, he has a very unique perspective on the job he's walking into, which should help him. So he's clearly, personality-wise, we knew right away he was different from Saleh. But so far, seeing what he's implemented, I think he's definitely a different head coach than Saleh. But that doesn't mean Glenn himself is a good coach yet. That's the one thing I warn Jet fans. Like, am I feeling good about him? You are
what your record is.
Absolutely. And that's what Bill Parcells would say, who everyone loves to compare to Glenn. But I've been impressed so far. I'm not going to try and minimize it. Like, I'm very cautiously optimistic. I just don't want to get hurt again. So I got to see some wins before I go gung-ho and really start to, talk confidently in this team.
I get it, and I agree with you. But one last point before I hang up and listen to the rest of your show. I'm happy Rodgers is not here. The way Glenn is running things, I'm not sure that Rodgers would have bought into the style. And you want all eyes and all ears on Glenn, not having somebody on the side giving difference of opinions and saying, criticizing behind closed doors and things like that. And we know Rodgers was never always committed to training camp and the preseason, as evidenced by his exit from Green Bay, and he would just sit it out. I very much think that it was needed in order to build the culture, perhaps showing Rodgers the door, possibly even a year earlier than some of us wanted.
Yeah, look, ultimately, once they moved on from Rodgers, I wanted them to sign Fields. They did that. Would it have worked with Glenn and Rodgers? I mean, obviously Glenn didn't think it would, which is why he moved on from him. But, the time will tell if it's the right move or not, because they gotta now obviously win games. And that's why I think win week 1, like send a message to the fan base. Things are going to be different. This is not the same old Jets. Here's Aaron Rodgers coming back and beating us, because of course, Jets the biggest joke again. Prevent that from being a thing. Win week 1. Let's go.
You know what? Just want the winning record, really good record. 97 when Parcells came in, they won week 1. They still finished 8-8 out of the playoffs. 98, they lost the first 2 games. They won the division, had a home field bye, and made it to the conference championship. I don't mind. I want long term here for this year, not just say week 1. Let's give them a little bit of slack there.
Agreed. But week 1 would send the right message, just like I think Rex would.
It would be sweet.
Yes. It'd be great, Jason. Injected into my veins. Look, Rex was 3-0. I don't know if that's realistic for Glenn, but could you imagine if the Jets start 2-0? Wins over Rodgers week 1 and Josh Allen week 2? Man. Oh, that'd be something. Hey, if you're watching live right now, please click the like button. Reminder, the show's available as a podcast wherever you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify. And new start time for the training camp meetup on Saturday. Because the Jets have practiced so early this year, instead of our 2:30 start time for our training camp meetup after practice on Saturday, we're moving things up to 12:30. So come right after practice. The back room is going to be reserved for Asmaniacs at the Cloverleaf Tavern. RSVP by clicking the link in the description. Comments, questions, Super Chats cut the line. Got some more great callers on hold that we will bring on. But first, some sounds from the Jets players who spoke after Glenn. Here is Garrett Wilson talking about, or excuse me, here is Justin Fields, I should say, talking about Mason Taylor.
I mean, Mason's, he doesn't talk a lot. He does work a lot, though. From the moment he got here, he's been working, his head down working. He doesn't make, really any mental mistakes, at least from what I've seen. He's a great route runner. He's smooth, has natural hands, so he's been great so far.
He's been awesome, apparently. Glenn raving about him, Fields raving about him. Mason Taylor, critical. Mason Taylor's dad, Jason Taylor, played with Nick Folk. So how about that for a full circle Jets moment? More sound from Jets players. Here's Garrett Wilson talking about Aaron Glenn. Apparently, give him a little subtle flex to G5 recently.
No, he ain't got to say too much. Whenever we were down in Texas talking, he was like, I ain't been down here in, we were in Austin. He was like, I ain't been down here. The last time I was down here, I had a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? And, that's one of those subtle flexes, right? I guess he did it at DKR, where Texas plays at. He picked 6 them, went with 99, 100 or something like that. So, stuff like that. Nah, he ain't got to say too much. I already know what time he was on with that. Smaller dude. What he's a top 10 pick? What was he? 11? 14. Yeah. So for a cornerback, like that, he ain't got to say too much. He's stamped. So
clearly, Garrett and Glenn have a very good relationship, and that was an important thing for Glenn to get situated with Garrett once he took over. Here is Will McDonald talking about the muscle that he's added this offseason.
15 pounds. So before this, I was around I want to say I was around 235, OTAs. I went down on purpose because I'm trying to get all that fat out, trying to get more muscle mass. And then, just come with eating right foods, all of that. And, I was able to gain a couple pounds from doing that. And now, now I'm out here balling. And so, that's what I'm going to keep doing.
McDonald has had maybe the best camp of any Jet player so far. He's been that good. One more from Garrett. Here's Garrett Wilson talking about the competitiveness of an Aaron Glenn training camp.
Yeah, just the competitiveness. The not just talking about being competitive. No, you got to train that way. It's got to feel like that at practice. It's got to feel like if you lose, it sucks at practice. It can't just be, we'll turn it on when the game comes, right? And I think that's the main thing that I see that's different. Just the way we're practicing, the intensity. The stakes. It feels like there's stakes, depending on which period it is, the stakes feel higher based on whether it's a competition red zone or a 2-minute. It feels like you won the drill when you won the drill, right? And it feels like you lost when you lost. And to me, that's how I like it. It's practice, yes, but there's also an opportunity to practice winning and get that feeling and what it takes to just do it, right, on a consistent basis. And I think it starts out here. So,
once again, these are all damning statements for what life was like for the Jets before this year. But you like hearing it now. Can't change the past. Can only learn from it. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line for those tuning in. The New York Jets officially did sign kicker Nick Folk to compete for the starting kicker position. More calls right now. Gusbuster Hotline is where we are headed. Where standing by is none other than the Beast.
You know what time it is? A Beastbreaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
Welcome to the doghouse. Hoof, 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 hoof. Congratulations, Nick Folk. You're welcome to the team now. Now, you wonder why I'm wearing the American bandana? Does The Undertaker bring back memories, folks? I think so. The Undertaker's going to tell it like it is, how it is, boys. Before all you newcomers came on, before you all were banging Mary Jane Rutch, I was humping these roads and earning my way up that ladder. Unlike all you guys, I like to see you all try, but unfortunately, right now it's not the time to talk about me. It's time to talk about our boys. I like where Aaron Glenn's disciplining our boys. We're gonna use strength. We're gonna use wisdom, honor, courage, and the discipline. 5 are the big key elements to this team. Why? Because we are a strong team. We're going to make the Bills cry. We're going to make the Patriots shit their pants. We're going to make the Dolphins diarrhea themselves right in their whitey-tighty underwear. And every team better put out notice. There will be hell to pay after 14 years of all the humiliation, the aggravation, the degradation. We are not playing any more games. How about you all get ready for the ride of your life? We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit. Guarantee.
Hey,
Put it in the bank and run with it.
Beast,
And
how
you
did
can
Garrett
take-
Wilson look at practice today?
First of all, remove that, and I will tell you. Remove that, and I'll tell you.
Okay,
Remove it.
it's off the screen.
No, not that one. I'm talking this. This legit excuse. He looked like, I'll tell you, Garrett Wilson will always be the man no matter what. And I'll tell you right here, right now, Dolphins will have diarrhea when they face us. The Patriots will have shit coming out of their ass when we're done kicking them around for a few rounds. And we're going to give the Bills a nice bloody red nose because they're going to look so bloody that we're going to make them look like their mama came out of their ass after they delivered birth. You can
All right,
bank
now,
our
Beast,
guarantee on it.
here's the thing that everyone needs. Justin Fields back at practice. He had a 10-yard scramble on 4th down to keep a drive alive.
Oh, time out.
Give us the reenactment.
Let's see. I formation, split back into a draw. That's what I'm cueing.
All right. Make sure you move the microphone that's not even plugged in. That serves no purpose.
Mijo. It's okay, El Senor Jake.
Okay.
Stand up, boys. Hold these $200 boys. Get ready, boys. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Get out. Green. 43. Green. 43. Get ready. Set up. 3-2. Get ready. Set. Hoi. Oh, yeah, baby. Ha! Yeah! Run!
Well done, Beast. That's what it looked like, apparently, today at practice. God bless Beastbreaker's bed frame. One of the strongest bed frames any of us have ever seen. Hey, if you're tuning in late, we're giving away this at the end of the show. It is a signed jersey by Jets legend, Mr. Third Down, Wayne Corbett. And since we don't have a ton of people in this raffle right now, I'm going to take it upon myself to gift 5 channel memberships and enter 5 people who receive the memberships in the raffle. So all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go into your settings and make sure you have on the option that you want to be eligible to receive a gifted membership, and you got a chance to win. So I'll give people 10 seconds, and then I'm going to gift away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 memberships have been gifted. If you hear your name called, you are officially a channel member and entered in the Asmaniac raffle for your chance to win a signed Corbett jersey.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Lupe Lions, late night. I'm Taj 4K, Steve Marzuki, and TJ Begg. They all just received a gifted membership and 1 entry each in our Asmaniac raffle at the end of the show. More calls here. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation today. Up next is PBM.
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
A question for Beast, if Beast is still on.
Beast, PBM has a question for you.
How you doing, Chief? Give me a second here, 1 minute, please. Doing a study review for homework. Got to keep up. Got to keep the game up. So how you doing, Mr. Jiu-Jitsu?
I'm good. I have a question about the zucchini. So my wife, she has a whole garden. She's all out, like the tomatoes and peppers. She has this whole thing.
My orange peppers are getting there. My red ones are getting there, and the green ones are starting to boom. After weeks.
I showed her the picture of the zucchini. She said it's too big when it grows like that because the seeds are going to be real big on the inside, and it takes away the taste. I wanted to know.
Don't ask. Long story short, let's keep it even, Steven. If you need one, I can send one your way, and I can pay for the shipping, and you'll get something in the deal. And don't ask why I'm wearing this bad boy. I've had this for 20 years. This bandana, got for $1. You don't see me wear one of these much.
I couldn't handle it anymore. Continue, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted the advice from PBW, but all right, it's fine. He said it's supposed to be like 8 inches to get the best taste of it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Don't let it grow more than 8. That's peak zucchini.
I see.
Apparently. Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Mike?
I think Folk is going to win the job, is what I think, too.
Okay.
So, but I'm still bummed out that we got rid of Morstead because apparently from what Connor Long has said, the punter we got in there kind of sucks. So,
what did you make of the revelation that Beast and Nick Ferrier were classmates at Hogwarts?
I want to know what his Patronus is. That's what I want to know.
As do all. Well, Mike, appreciate your call. Tremendous contributions as usual.
Catch you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike as he recovers from the ACL. Phantom Green and White in the Asmaniac raffle for one with this. And Sam Aiken, or is it Sam Akin? Either way, Sam, we got you in the raffle for 5 because, as you can see on the screen, folks, Sam gifted 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
More conversations from Jet Camp here as a bunch of Jet players were made available. Jet signing Nick Folk. We're going to be joined by Robbie Sabo this afternoon for a full recap of the practice today. Will McDonald was asked about playing Aaron Rodgers week 1, and he said, quote, I always wanted to sack Rodgers from when I was a little kid. Actually, let me not say that, because as a little kid, I wasn't even interested in playing football. I did watch him, though. I watched him a lot. So we got Will McDonald ready to try and get after it week 1, which I think if you're a Jet fan, certainly you're hoping for exactly that. BP York with some wise words. It's not the size of the zucchini, it's how you use it. Beast, what are your thoughts on this? I agree with this statement.
What you see is what you get.
Okay.
Gracias, and don't worry, I'll be in a magazine very soon.
Hey, where's the zucchini, though, by the way?
Put downstairs for safekeeping. I want to keep it nice and fresh. You'll leave it out.
Go get it. There were some people that missed it yesterday that really want to see it.
Time out.
Whip out your giant zucchini, Beast.
Hey!
What?
You got little guys watching this, but we're not talking about something in the pants for crying out loud. In the words of Mean Gene Oakland, have some decorum.
In the words of, what are you talking about? I said, whip out your zucchini. What are you talking about? Talking about pants?
Play some Jets takes for a few minutes. I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes.
You want some Jets takes?
Yeah.
Prove your claim that people walked on the moon.
Men don't die for no reason at all.
How does men don't die for no reason prove that people walked on the moon? Your evidence is that you were alive when someone claimed to have walked on the moon.
I was living then, yes.
What does that prove?
I believe in achievement. I believe in a space program.
You believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon. That's your argument?
I believe people didn't lie to us like you.
I believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon?
Now, that is an ass right there, folks. More of your calls right now. Devin is up next, and then we'll check in with Beast and his zucchini. Hello, Devin.
What's up, Jake?
What's
How
up,
you doing,
Devin?
bro? Just rocking my little Asmaniac, getting ready to go to the beach.
There it is.
On my vacay. Bro, can I tell you, I got the most frustrating stuff. Hey, so ran this house, right? I've tried the second bed last night. The bed is hard as shit, bro. Like, I've never had a bed so hard. Pause. But it's ridiculous, man. I can't sleep. So I'm on vacation and I can't sleep. But anyhow, but my Jets point, man, bro, AG, how could you not love this dude, man? It's like day in and day out. Every day that I hear him talk, listening to the players, it's just validation for my initial instincts. It's like AG is just the man. We're about to get busy. We're about to kill some dudes in this league, rip some heads off, tear some kneecaps up from the other team, not ours. But
Let's hope.
I am so pumped, man. Every time I listen to this, I listen to these origin stories. Will McDonald origin story got me even more hyped. I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. These guys are hungry, man. We're about to do something special this year, Jake. I feel it. I wish you was at game one. Maybe by the time the season rolls around, you will have bought into the point. Because I need you in. I love it when you're hyped, man. When you're hyped for the Jets, bro, things are better for me.
No one wants this team to be better than me, Devin. Like, trust me. Like, I
know.
I love the Jets, and like the channel does better when they're good. Like, it's the brief times they've been on winning streaks or there's been positive things. Like, that's the most fun to do this. Like, this is supposed to be a fun job, and when the season was as miserable as it was tough to do this twice a day during that season, man. So I'm just dying for, a good start at the bare minimum.
I get that, bro. I get that. I just wanted to check in with you because I never get to call in. I'm always working. I get to listen in the background. So I'm on vacation this week. I just want to talk to Jake. I just like talking to Jake, bro. I love your show. You know I love you. I love everything you do, bro. I'm always going to support you. Always, as Maniac forever, But I just wanted to check in. I appreciate you taking my call, brother. You have an amazing
Devin.
rest of your day.
You have a great vacation, Devin. Say hi to the fam for us. Devin's daughter, Elizabeth, is awesome. We met her at the Texans game last year. Man, trust me, all your favorite content creators want the Jets to be good. All our channels do better when fans are excited. The views for all our shows are back up. I mean, we had almost 500 people tuned in live yesterday for just a random, Monday Jet show in July. Still training camp just getting underway. So this fan base is dying, man, starving. In the raffle for 5 is Dan Philcox, who says, "Get me in the raffle, Jake. Can you say hi, Colton? He's my 1-year-old son, and he's watching you while eating his breakfast. Go Jets. Pump for Nick Folk. Love that guy. Glenn seems like the real deal. Getting excited. Let's go Jets." Shout out to you, Colton. Thanks for watching the show. You have a great dad. As far as Nick Folk, I am thrilled they signed him. I'm not going to go goo-goo gaga and act like he's automatically going to be as good as he was last year, but he was really good last year. So bringing him in for competition with a guy who's never kicked in the NFL, to me, is a smart and logical personnel move by Glenn and Muji. So I commend them for it. And you're in the raffle for 5, Dan, so good luck. Tom Ace writes in, "Can we hold a zucchini measurement contest before the show ends?" Perhaps we shall. Gator writes in, "Beast answers questions accurately 5% of the time. The other 95% are answers to questions not asked." Dylan writes in, "Beast zucchini is an innie." Ladies and gentlemen, more on the zucchini of Beastbreaker. Beast, show and tell. What do we got here?
This might look like a zucchini, but in real life, this looks like a continental missile that looks 4 feet long and ready to go right on for the bomb squad, baby boys. To all you hardcore gardeners, you know this is the best thing that grows. And I tell you, I know this is the biggest one I've ever seen in all of professional life. But I'll tell you, hey, you only get it once in a lifetime. Just like when you change your underwear. Think about that.
Hey, Beast, can you pretend that thing is a football and
Whoa, hey, back it up 1 second. This ain't no football, my friends. This was $4.
And you don't live in a global
$4
studio
worth of zucchini.
headquarters, but that hasn't stopped us from pretending.
Hey, to all you guys here, all this here, this is all paid for. Paid? Why? Blood, sweat, and tears, and hard-earned cash that comes out.
Okay, great. That has nothing to do with you pretending that's a football and dropping back like Justin Fields in the pocket.
You want to fly?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Pay my airfare. Let's get me to the airport, and then get me on the first class flight, and to the ladies up front, chicken fried steak with some eggs and some bacon.
What are you talking about? Get on the line of scrimmage and run a play, damn it.
Hold up there. You're not, I'm conducting the flight. I'm the captain of the flight.
Oh, Beast, you got to move your mic that's not plugged in. It's obstructing the view.
I'll run this way. Hold on 1 second. El Senor Jake. Give me a second here. We're gonna go with an HP dive. We're gonna dive it up. Get ready. Get ready. Get in the back. Good. Flag. 46. Flag. 46. Get ready. 3 T's. That's it. Touchdown, Chico.
Spike the zucchini. Spike it.
Rejected. Sorry.
Now that was electrifying. Jets football is back, folks. Tremendous. Bino with a super chat. Jacob, it's my birthday, and I'm in the S550 on the road with the family headed to New Jersey. Everyone wish Bino in the chat a happy birthday. Bino, always appreciate your support. Hope you have a great one. More of your calls right now. Man with a Jets tattoo has called in with a zucchini. Hello, man with a Jets tattoo.
Hey, Jake, how you doing? Had to go down to the garden and pick this zucchini because you can't let them get that big, Beast. They're no good. They have too many seeds in them. This is the kind of zucchini you want to eat right here.
Hell yeah.
Now, I don't know how many other callers have zucchinis, but this is the kind of zucchini you want. Now, I was thinking if I can get this signed by Aaron Glenn, this would be really cool.
I don't know if you'd want it by Glenn. I think you'd be better off getting that signed by Beast himself. It'd make more sense.
Yeah, well, I don't really want anything signed by Beast, I'll tell you the truth.
That makes sense.
But, yeah, but anyway, enough about the zucchini. Very excited about the Jets. Very excited. Have we had a press conference yet today?
Yes, I played it earlier in the show if you rewind.
Okay, I was mowing the lawn, so, you know, I got to go back and catch that later.
Well,
Anything interesting?
I'm glad you're excited. Look, Aaron Glenn certainly has done a really good job of, I think, providing leadership and winning over the fans to this point. That's all we could judge him on. It will come down to his record when the games count, but he's impressive every time he's up at the podium. And go back to the beginning of the show. I played a cut from yesterday where a media member tried to bring up Bill Parcells and how if what he would say to players would work in 2025, and Aaron Glenn wouldn't even entertain it and said, I'm not Bill Parcells. I'm Aaron Glenn, and basically pushed back on.
Yeah, I saw the show yesterday. I saw the show live yesterday. But I'm so excited that I'm walking around with my sleeves rolled up.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to know that I'm a friggin' Jet fan. Hey, that's not bad for 71-year-old arms, is it?
You look great, man, with a Jet tattoo.
You know, I got to keep in shape in case they call me, you know?
Hey, failure to prepare is failing to be prepared.
That's true. And I don't know. I guess me and Dave Brigger are about the same age. Would you say that?
I don't actually know how old Dave is. I think Dave is around there, so that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I'd like to talk to Dave sometime. Probably have a lot in common.
Do you believe in achievement?
Oh, yes. I definitely believe in achievement. And, you know, speaking of achievement, I don't like the way Gary treats Dave. You know, Gary doesn't achieve anything. I don't know what the hell he's ever talking about. Eating butter, eating. Me, look, I'm 71 years old. I don't eat butter. I don't eat meat. I eat salad. I eat chicken. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't eat butter.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
I'm doing well. What did I say that was the least bit confusing or ambiguous? And I'll try to clear it up for you.
Okay, Gary. The big thing with me is the way you get on Dave Brigger.
The way I get on Dave Brigger.
Yes.
That's hilarious. He starts every single fight with me. Every one of them.
Come on.
I speak to everyone with dignity and respect and then counterpunch from there. I just match your energy. If you want to talk about the weather, we'll talk about the weather. If you want to talk about the Jets, we'll talk about the Jets. If you want to get in the center of the ring and trade low blows, I can do that too. And guess what? I'm going to beat you at that too. So
I'd love to get. Yeah, I used to do a little boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little younger than my son. That's how old I am. But
you're I'm not trying. You're the same age as my dad.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
you said 71, right? You said you're 71?
Does your dad eat butter?
Oh, my dad eats butter. Yeah.
Exclusively?
No, he doesn't only eat butter, but he eats butter.
Okay. So he's on the same sort of diet you're on?
No.
Okay.
No, they're not.
No. Anyway, let's getting back to Dave Brigger. Look, I like you a lot, Gary. You're a very entertaining guest.
I appreciate that.
I really do. I think you're cool. But there's some things I don't agree with. I
wouldn't expect you to agree with everything I say. I don't agree with what you said 2 weeks ago, so that's fine.
That's good. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I think you should take it a little easy on Brigger. Especially about the moon landing.
He starts the fights with me. I don't understand why you call the bull into the ring and then get mad at the bull when he gives you the horns. What did you expect?
Well, I expected you to at least give him a reason why you don't believe there was a moon landing.
Well, I don't see any evidence to suggest that there was, right? If I said to you, I walked on Venus yesterday, do you believe me?
No.
Why not?
Well, first of all, I don't know you, so I don't know if I could believe anything you say. But here's the thing about the moon landing. Let's just start with the moon landing. I think that there's so much evidence out there, and it's evidence that you just don't agree with.
Let me see the evidence. I'm willing to look at the evidence. What is the evidence?
If you'd watched any TV or history or read some science books, I mean, there's a lot of evidence. I mean, there's pictures, there's moon rocks.
The moon rocks were made out of petrified wood. We've been over this, right? We gave a moon rock, and it was made. So the moon rock was fake. Unless you think there's petrified wood forests on the moon, then the moon rock was fake.
Where did you hear that?
I can pull up the article. It's everywhere. I can pull. We gave it to the Dutch. Armstrong said this is a rock for the Dutch. We gave it to the Dutch. The Dutch tested it. It was made out of petrified wood. So unless there's petrified trees on the moon rock is fake.
Well, I think maybe at one time there was petrified trees on the moon.
Maybe there was petrified trees. And then we don't know anything about the moon then. If that's true, then we don't know anything about the moon. We certainly haven't been there. If there were trees growing on the moon, then we don't know anything about the moon.
Anyway, listen, I respect what you choose to believe or not believe.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. Everybody believes in something. Everybody doesn't believe in something, but I just would like to see you be a little kinder to Dave Brigger.
I speak to everyone with dignity and respect, and then I match their energy. Everybody. Have I been rude or disrespectful to you?
Oh, no, you haven't. You've been very cordial to me.
If you came in and started calling me moron and bird brain, I would match your energy. But you've been respectful to me, so I've been respectful back to you.
I never do that, Gary. I like you. I like listening to you.
You're a good guy. And this went a lot differently than I thought it was gonna go. I appreciate that.
I'm not looking to argue with anybody. I just, hey, look, I just have certain beliefs. I'm like Dave Brigger. I think that achievement in some cases is very good. I think that our science achieves constantly, and I don't see what their purpose of faking a moon landing would be.
J-O-B, job.
I'm not here to speculate on why someone might lie. People lie all the time. Do we agree on that?
Right. Oh yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not gonna speculate as to the reason why. I could come up with a million theories, but they're just theories because I don't know the mind of other people. So I don't know why they would lie. I'm just saying I look at that and I know that's not real. That's clearly fake. It's not even ascertainable to get to the moon, right? So, and then like there are just circumstantial things like the intersecting shadows, which can't happen under one natural light. So someone else brought a light onto the moon. How did that happen, right? And then there's the fake rock, and it just goes on and on and on. And then there's Buzz saying we never went to the moon, and it's just piece of evidence after piece of evidence that ascertains that this is not true.
Who said we never went to the moon?
Good old Buzz said we never went to the moon. A little kid asked him, "How come we never went back?" And he said, "Because we never went there, and that's how it happened."
You mean the astronaut Buzz Aldrin?
Buzz Aldrin, yeah.
He did say that. I've never heard that.
Said, they can pull the clip. Nick Shine had the clip. There's a bunch of people had the clip. There's a little girl that said, "How come we never went back to the moon?" And he said, "Because we never went there, and that's how it happened."
Covered there. A lot of ground covered there. The moon landing debate continues. Gary and Man with the Jets tattoo. Nick Shine's in the house. He says, raffle me up. Love to everyone, especially Tom H. For those tuning in late, signed Wayne Corbett jersey is what we are giving away at the end of the stream. Paul Taxter has a chance to win the jersey. Good luck, Paul. Mike D's Nuts is up for the Azie right now. For best fake name, he's the leader in the clubhouse. And Mike wrote in, watching the show on the hospital on morphine is amazing. Mike, I know you're going through some stuff, man. Hopefully you get better soon. Glad to hear that you're able to still watch the show from the hospital. So everyone send their best wishes to Mike. More calls before we wrap what has been a wild show that's somehow already approaching the 2-hour mark today. Once again, Mr. Robbie Sable will join us in the afternoon to recap today's practice. Jets off tomorrow and then back Thursday. So tomorrow, a bit of a reset day after the first 2 days in pads. Let's head to our next caller. Although I don't know if he's still there. His line might have dropped. Thunderlips, do you hear me? Thunderlips? Man, tough. He was there, went to him, boom, not there. Let's see. Let me get to some comments here. Thoughts on what Aaron Glenn said? Once again, for those tuning in late, Glenn pushing back on the idea that he's Bill Parcells. He says, I'm Aaron Glenn. And I like that because you want to try and get ahead of all the Bill Parcells comparisons, right? When Bill Parcells took over the Jets, he was a 2-time Super Bowl champion at that point. So it's different. And also, Aaron Glenn never coached under Bill Parcells. He just played for him. So I think Glenn rightfully is saying it's not just Parcells who's influenced me. I've been influenced by a bunch of great coaches that I actually coached with. Sean Payton, Dan Campbell, to name a few. So I think that's great from Glenn. More calls right now. I think Thunderlips is actually back with us this time. Hello, Mr. Thunderlips.
Is my connection dog shit, or can you hear me?
There might be a big delay. We're going to find out real quick.
I'm guessing my connection is absolute fucking dog shit because you're frozen. All right. I'll call in later, man. Fuck.
Thunderlips having a rough go of it. For those who missed it, here's the short clip we played and talked about earlier. I love this from Aaron Glenn. Back and forth when asked about Parcells yesterday by a media member.
Change your coaching style as a Bill Parcells disciple, as a tough coach for 2025. Some of the stuff Bill did 30, 40 years ago, yelling and screaming, maybe doesn't resonate the same in 2025 with the modern athlete. So how do you take all the good things of Bill and perhaps you can't do things exactly like him?
Well, first off, I'm Aaron Glenn. I'm not Bill. So that really is answering your question.
But as far as the style of coaching in 2025.
I have my own style of coaching. Listen, I learned a lot from Bill, but Aaron Glenn's going to show up like on the field, on the grass, with the players every time.
But could you yell at players like you could 20 years ago?
My personality is going to show up on the field every time. Have you seen me do it? My personality is going to show up on the field every time.
I think that's great. I do. Glenn is himself. That's him. I don't think that's an act. And I think he wants to separate himself from everyone making Parcells comps, because if Aaron Glenn is like half of what Bill Parcells was as a coach, Jets are in good hands. Right? But Parcells, to me, is a top 5 NFL head coach ever. Right? Bill Belichick didn't win unless he had Tom Brady. Bill Parcells could point to the fact he won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. He went to another Super Bowl with New England. He took over the worst team in the league with the Jets and had them in the championship game within 2 years. Laid the foundation for success into the 2000s. Then he went to the Cowboys and even took them to the playoffs. He's a top 5 coach ever. If Aaron Glenn's anywhere close to that, the Jets struck gold. So I think it's smart by Glenn to kind of distance himself from him and be like, I'm my own guy. Like, judge me for me, not trying to make everything about Parcells. And the media is going to keep asking because it's a great story, right? Here's a guy that was the Jet coach who turned things around. They're trying to paint that narrative, and Glenn's pushing back on it, which I like. Shout out to Curly. He says, Jake, I sent you 2 tickets for Camp Thursday. I can't make it. If anyone needs tickets, I now have 2 tickets for Thursday's training camp. First come, first serve if you email me, AsmanJake@gmail.com. By the way, with a couple days left in August, join the Patreon if you haven't, if you want your name added, or a couple days left in July, I should say, till August. Join the Patreon if you haven't. You get access to the Discord, bonus shows, find out about exclusive events, and a whole lot more. So check it out, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you join during this show for the entire year, not only do you save 15%, but you get 10 raffle tickets applied. I'll apply it to this raffle coming up in a few short minutes, a signed Wayne Corbett jersey we raffle away at the end of the stream. Last chance to get in on the show. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Jay says, AG told Samiti what's what. Samiti wasn't the first reporter in the question. He had the follow-up. I don't know who the first one was. I couldn't distinguish the voice. Dixon says, Ask Jake Anything segment. We haven't done one of those in a while. Dixon, you know what? If you want it, who am I to say no to such a thing? I just got to find the video. I don't know where it is. I don't have the intro for it, Dixon. You might be out of luck. Actually, false alarm. I found it. Here we go.
It's time for Ask Jake Anything. Ask about New York sports. Can't afford a therapist? Maybe Jake can help. We can even discuss if the moon landing was real. Seriously, ask Jake anything.
Kind of fitting to play that, given the moon landing debate did resurface during the show. Hey, Connor Long gifted a channel membership. Connor in the Asmaniac raffle now for 1. All right, ask me anything to end the show. Anything on your mind, and we will bring it up on the screen. Then we will do the raffle. Make sure you guys vote in the Azie Awards here. Best fake name is the award up for grabs in the Azie Awards. So vote right now. In first place, Mike D's Nuts with 39% of the vote. All right, a couple Ask Jake Anything questions before we end the poll for the Azzies and then do a raffle to wrap up the show. Let's see. This first one is from most hot dogs I could eat in 24 hours from Purple Belt Mike. 24 hours? I don't know. That's tough. Maybe like 20-something. If I had 24 hours and spaced it out properly. That would be nice. Cisco says, Jake, you might have covered this before, but name your favorite Jet of all time. To me, it was Darrell Revis when we were going through the prime Revis experience. I think over time, my love of Nick Mangold has increased because he's been a frequent guest on radio shows I've done before, and he's been on the YouTube show. D. Stern says, what was your first Jets game memory? Great question. First Jets game memory. Jets and who'd they play in 06? Jets, Bills, 2006 at MetLife, or excuse me, at Giant Stadium. I'm trying to think. I don't remember much, to be honest with you. I just remember there. I know Chad was the quarterback and the Jets won, and they played an AFC East opponent, and it wasn't the Patriots. So I gotta look it up. JJ says, thoughts on John Simpson long-term? He had a great year. I would look to extend him now. I know they talked about AVT being extended, but I would absolutely be interested in locking John Simpson up long-term. I think he's a high-character dude. I think he fits the scheme, the mentality they want to have. I think you get in front of it now and you keep him long-term. Let's see. Dixon wants to know, is water wet? It is. Dan says, what do you think about UFOs, and what do you think, and when do you think we will get full UFO disclosure? I don't know if we will. I don't know if we will, to be honest. Also, we got major problems here with StreamYard. They now have changed the auto starring of gifted memberships and super chats here. So I got to be extra focused because they made literally an update in show where on my end, this is what it looks like now when someone sends in a super chat. So Anthony sent in a $20 super chat here. It says, driving to Workers, Jake, great show. I'm on the raffles. What you guys see on the screen is not Anthony's comment highlighted in orange because of this bug that StreamYard now has literally as I'm doing the show. So Anthony, I see your comment and I'm accounting for it, even though it's not coming up as a normal super chat. Hopefully I explained that properly. Ralphie, I see, has a $10 super chat that I'm going to pull up now too. I just got to find it. But he's in our raffle now with that one. Everyone see what I'm saying on the screen? You guys see how it's not coming up as like a specific super chat thing? Ralphie wrote, I can't even find it, but I got you down, Ralphie. Who's a crazier caller, Richard from Manhattan or Beastbreaker? The answer is Beast, but Richard from Manhattan is so crazy in his own like weird way. For anyone who listens regularly to ESPN New York, I mean, Richard just goes. And he's a dentist in Manhattan who just sits on hold all day calling into ESPN New York. It truly is amazing. And he knows so much about sports, and he looks nothing like what I thought he'd look like when I finally saw a picture of the guy. He's the most unique ESPN New York caller for sure. Dylan says, StreamYard goes backwards after every update. It really is. Like, I'm having a hard time finding the super chats here, and I want to make sure that anyone who's in the raffle gets properly vetted and is actually in there. SP16 says, can we get a view of the StreamYard setup? Yes. I'm going to show you. This is what it looks like on my end. And you guys could see a little behind the curtain here what it looks like when I see a super chat on my end that I could bring on the screen. Maybe the audience will find this interesting. I don't know. But so this is what it looks like for me as the host of the show, right? So I see the comments come up under the live tab that you see. And then on the right, it's starred. There's a setting, auto star super chats that I have turned on. And that includes gifted memberships as well. So it comes up separately. So that way, if someone's nice enough to support the channel, it's easy for me to find. You can see it on the right side under star. What's happening now is Connor Long, for example, you see his comment. Connor Long gifted a membership. That should be coming up in green like it does for Paul, as you guys see on the right side there. So that's the issue I'm having. So I got to actually physically now open up YouTube, which slows down my computer just so I don't miss anything. And I see Black Gypsy has gifted a membership as well. So I got you down, Black Gypsy, yes. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm dealing with now by showing you. Very confusing. But I think we are all caught up. All right, almost raffle time. So if you do want in, now's the last chance to do it. Let's get to perhaps our final call. He was in a rumble earlier that turned out to be not quite a rumble. Let's get a normal phone call now. Well, as normal as one call from this guy can be with this guy.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Gary?
I wanted to comment that call that Devin the dude Devin had earlier. That was a positive call. I like that call. He's a good guy. Has he called in before? Devin the dude.
Devin's called in a bunch, yeah.
I don't remember. That was a positive call. I like that call. Devin the dude should call in more. That guy's a good caller. Have Devin the dude.
Devin's been a caller plenty of times. He calls in a lot of times with his cute daughter.
Oh,
she loves the chicken
I think
and
I
pasta
remember
song.
him. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. I didn't realize it was the same guy. Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah, all right. He doesn't call in often, but he's called in multiple times in the. Okay, all right. Call more. We need more optimistic Jet fans, especially in July. And you made an interesting point, which sounds logical, but I wanted to ask you about it. You said the show would do a lot better if the Jets were good, and that stands to reason. Like, it makes logical sense. But I remember listening to Mike Francesa say it, him and the dog, the year that the Giants won their first Super Bowl against the Patriots, whatever that was, like 2007. He said that was a 9 out of 10 for them when the Giants went on that run and beat the Patriots. He said when the Mets in that same year blew the 7-game lead in the final 2 weeks of the season to the Phillies, that's a 10 out of 10. Listening to everyone panic and go berserk was ratings gold for us. So what you're saying makes sense. And it's never really been trial tested because the Jets haven't won since you've done the show. But do you think that a lot of the reason people call in is to vent about how bad the Jets are?
I think sports radio, the negative a lot of times does sell until you reach that point of apathy. And I think the dangerous thing the Jets were in last year is apathy did set in by the end of last year. Like, it was just waiting to get to the end of the year to start the GM and coach search. So you don't want that. I've been able to still build the channel because this fan base is passionate, and like the Jets, while they have sucked, they've been in the news and have been interesting for good and bad during this run since the channel began. But in the limited times they've been good, Gary, I think on fan specific channels like this one, positivity actually sells. It's different. Like, people want to go here to celebrate with a community of Jet fans about the team doing well. So like that's I think the difference between like a sports radio, which is like, general big picture on all the teams, whereas a Jet specific channel where diehards are here who don't want to just be pelted with our team sucks constantly. They want to, be able to celebrate, the team being good.
There were two kind of stretches where there was optimism. One was last offseason. I think everyone was optimistic then. And the other was Zachy's second year, which I thought was smoke and mirrors. But when they were 4-3, whatever, after the Giants win, like we beat the Eagles. There was some optimism there. Like, okay, like there's reason to believe. And then things kind of went sideways. But I mean, those were short-lived moments of happiness.
2022 was that year when they were 6-3, 7-4.
Yeah,
like when they beat the Bears with Mike White.
2022, that's what it was. Yeah, it was Zach Wilson's second year. It was 2022. Yeah. They beat Denver. They won a bunch of games. They beat Green Bay.
Lambeau. Yeah. It was fun.
And that was short-lived. And then they ended up losing 6 in a row to end the season. Something like that.
7.
7 in a row. Beautiful. Wonderful.
Right, because they finished 7-10 and they were 6-3.
Extraordinary. Yeah, and then it was extraordinary. 7 in a row. That's a lot of losses to lose, especially after you start.
No, I guess it was 6 because they were 7-4. They finished 7-10. But either way, they collapsed.
Yeah, that's a lot of losses in a row. And I like the Aaron Glenn answer. I'm not Bill Parcells. He handled that question well because the more the reporter kept asking the question, the stupider the question sounded. It's like, are you going to keep yelling at the players like Parcells did? It's like, bro, shut up. Like, I like, because a lot of people would say the comparison to Bill Parcells, they would be like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah, I want to be like Parcells. Glenn took it the other direction. Said, I'm my own man. Right? Like if somebody said like they comped you to Chris Mad Dog Russo, you would take that as a compliment. You might want to run with that. But that's not really what Glenn did. Glenn said, I'm my own coach. I have my own style. That's it.
Yeah, he's very
Parcells.
comfortable being the guy. Like he's not trying to be anyone's buddy up there. Like he's gonna be refreshingly honest, which I think we as fans appreciate to this point.
Yeah, I like the way Salah handled it, but it was always like, yeah, that's a fair point. He never really gave you authenticity, right? Like he gave you prepackaged answers, Salah. So
he was too nice to everyone.
Yeah, he didn't want to ruffle any feathers for sure. And then we signed Nick Folk.
Nick Folk is a Jet again.
That's interesting. He's got to be in his 40s, no?
He's 40 on the dot.
He's 40 on the dot. He has I don't know if they still do, but when he was with the Jets back in 2013, 2014, whenever he was there, he lived 10 minutes from me. And his wife, they have twins about the same age as Decker and her twin brother. And my wife and his wife were in the same like Christian wives group, and they had a DFW group for twins, like moms of twins. And they had twins about the same age as, so her name is Juliana or something like that. My wife kind of knew her years ago. I think they still live in Dallas. I'm not sure about that though.
How about that?
Small world, huh?
That really is.
Yeah.
Gary, do you feel like your battle with Man with a Jets tattoo is a jumping off point for you and Dave Brigger to rekindle a friendship?
I don't think me and Dave are ever going to be friendly. I can be civil to him if he wants to be civil to me. I can match his energy. But Man with a Jets tattoo, I thought that was going to go in a way different direction. He was civil and polite and respectful. That was fine. He was nothing like Brigger, by the way. That was fine. I could have that conversation with him. So I get into debates with Black Gypsy. But Black Gypsy is always respectful. He's always thoughtful. And so I'll match his energy, even though I agree with him on nothing. I'll talk to him all the time. I kind of felt like Man with a Jets tattoo was respectful and civil, and maybe he doesn't agree with me, and that's fine.
Flight Risk Jets. I can't bring his super chat up because the super chats aren't working, but I can see it. He wrote, Gary's the GOAT.
I appreciate that. Oh, I had to ask you anything question, Jake.
Go ahead.
How much do you think Beast weighs?
Beast says he's 219.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't exactly my question. What do you think he weighs?
I take people at face value till I have reasons to doubt them. So if Beast says he's 219, to me he's 219.
Okay. All right.
Hey Beast, are you 219?
I said 259. Did you clean
259.
your
259. Sorry.
Jesus H. Christ.
Hey, Beast, are you in there? I can only hear you. I can't see you.
I was on my telefono canal.
Beast, you might need to get a new shirt.
Can I have a little bit of privacy for myself here while I'm
I don't think that shirt fits you, Beast.
This is Children of the Bodom. This stuff you don't know nothing about. This is not a world for you. Like the guy said from Bill Parcells on his football journey DVD. Football right now, let me just say, it's a different world, and it's suited for the best kind of guys like us. We know this game, we play this game, and we get injured real ugly. You know why? There's bumps. There's bumps.
What size is that? What size is that shirt?
This is an XL. I got this from Los Angeles years ago, from LA.
I think it's time to maybe try the 2 or even 3XL.
I'm gonna back you up here. Back up. Don't try me, Gary. I'm gonna run you faster. I'm gonna run you right out the door like garbage on a cold day, kid. Just back up the train. Back it up.
What happens to garbage on a cold day? I don't get the reference.
Can we take it easy? Take it easy.
I don't understand. What happens to garbage on a cold day?
It stinks. It's like, I'll give you the prime example. Old T-shirt.
Yeah.
It stinks. Yeah,
Hey, Beast, Gator wrote in, that scale ain't gonna weigh itself, pal.
Hey, pal is a candy, my friend. It's a bubblegum I like. And why don't you go look for that in the store somewhere, if you can find it. And just remember, what movie was Hulk Hogan in 1998, huh? What movie was he in?
Oh, he was in Rocky 3. He played Thunderlips, the ultimate male.
No.
I'm pretty sure he did play.
He was in the Three Ninja movie with Jim Varney.
All right. Well, he was still in Rocky 3.
Yes, he was. With the great Sylvester Stallone, and also Mr. T, who gave him probably the best fight in Madison Square Garden back in 1982. Also at the same time, Vince Sr. fired Hulk Hogan.
Did Rocky fight Clubber Lang at the Garden? Is that where the fight was in Rocky 3? The first and the second.
I don't remember. Well, Clubber Lang was Rocky 3.
Yeah, did he fight him at the Garden? I remember he fought at the Garden. He was knocking people out because they had his name on the in that segment where he's knocking everyone out, and Mickey's like, they were good fighters, but they weren't killers like this guy. This guy will kill you to death inside of 3 rounds. He knocked people out at the Garden in that montage, but I don't remember if he fought Clubber Lang at the Garden. He may have.
He may have. Do you think Beast and Rocky would have been an entertaining fight back in the day?
Well, they're both 5'7", so keep that in mind. So, but no, I don't think so. Rocky took down. Well, he fought Thunderlips to a draw. Do you think Beast could fight Thunderlips / Hulk Hogan to a draw? I don't think so.
I think it'd be a great battle. Also,
Hulk Hogan got him by a foot.
Papa Jet with a great point. Garbage smell, I'd imagine, is worse on a hot day. In fact, I know it is because I live in New York City.
I would imagine so. Yeah, I didn't understand the garbage on a cold day reference. I didn't get the reference.
Yep. Well, Gary,
I don't think Beast is an idiot. I just think he's like off. Like I don't think like what I actually don't think he's an idiot. I don't. I just think like there's his brain is very different.
If you guys broke bread, I think you guys would see eye to eye on a lot of topics.
I think he should lay off the bread, especially anything with artificial flavors and preservatives, anything like that. Lay off that. Just eat clean, and that would be 70% better. I promise you, most of that is diet based.
Ladies and gentlemen,
most of it.
Gary.
He's pointing. Gary Box, I'm pointing at you. Gary Box, I point at you. Gary Box, I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Gary Box, point at you. I point.
Eventful show. Before we get to the raffle, let's declare a winner in the Azie Awards. The Azie for the best fake name goes to listener. I'll tell you as soon as YouTube loads the poll. I can't see it. I think it's Mike D's Nuts, but I need to be able to close the poll to be able to tell you that. And the poll is officially closed. It is, in fact, Mike D's Nuts, your winner for the best fake name Azie Award. Congratulations to the great Mike D's Nuts. D's Nuts. D's Nuts wins the official tally. Now that I can see, it's 38%. 31% to We the People in second. Kyle Clifton, 21% in third. Black Gypsy at 8% in fourth. So, there you have it. Your winner for the best fake name. Now, it is time to give away a signed jersey by Jets Ring of Honor inductee, one of the most beloved Jets ever, Wayne Krabet.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go. The raffle wheel of champions is up on your screen. If you don't win, it does not mean that you won't win during a future show. You're automatically entered in our weekly raffle, which this week features a signed Joe Namath jersey and a signed DeBrickashaw Ferguson football. More prizes to be announced. Now, I see Stack gifted a membership here. We're having issues with StreamYard showing me some memberships here, so I'm going to do a triple check before we spin the wheel here. So I want to make sure Stack's included in this because he deserves it. Stack, I'm adding you down for 1, so you are in there. Good luck to everyone, and again, thanks to the best community for making it possible to do these raffles. 1 spin for the Corbett jersey. The winner of the signed jersey is listener TJ Berg. Now, how did TJ get entered? I gifted 5 memberships earlier, and he was one of the recipients. Congratulations to TJ Berg. He is the winner of the signed Wayne Corbett jersey. Yeah. Congrats to TJ, and thanks again to everyone who participated. All right, that does it for me. We're back this afternoon with a full recap of practice. Robbie Sabo has been at all of them. He'll join us to recap today and what he has seen so far at camp. Again, you guys are the greatest. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continuous support. Before we get out of here, a short clip that I think everyone will enjoy. And then once again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check back in the 4 p.m. hour as we will have a full breakdown on everything that went down at camp today. Until then, I'll talk to you soon. JETS, 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 Jets. Boom.
Hey, Jake, how are you? I'm at one of my favorite cafes called Liberty Bagel.
Do you think the guy in the blue knows he's on one of the biggest shows on YouTube right now? Ask him if he's a Jet fan.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you a Jet fan? He's a soccer fan. This is Jake Asman. He is an ESPN radio show host and a YouTuber like me, but he's been doing it longer than me.
Hi, Jake. Good morning.
How's it going? You guys don't know this, but the guy in front of you there, right? Charles, explain to them Asmaniac Madness and tell them that you're the #1 seed in the tournament.
He named the region after my mom's chicken soup. It's not Asman, it's Asman. She found your channel, dude. I'm so sorry about this.
Steady Eddie, I need you to tell me right now how much your sandwich and your brother's sandwich was total.
$44.18.
What the heck did you guys order? Charles, I just sent you a Venmo. Now look at this mug. Does this sandwich cure cancer? Is that why it's so much money? Thank the people behind you there for being willing to come on the show.
They left already.
Oh, I wonder why. Hey, real quick, Kyle, I got some breaking news here. This is the couple from the table. How about you pay for our food too, since you ruined our breakfast? At Dominic Ciampi, Venmo, please. This is quite the turn of events here. Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table is calling in. Is this real?
It's only $30, not 50.
Ours was only 30.
So Charles comes over to you. What did you think was happening?
I was very confused. He was talking a lot about his new home and stuff behind us loudly, and then he just came up at us.
The chat is very mixed whether or not I should send you guys the $30. I'm seeing some comments here saying, don't go for it, Jake. Rick says only pay them if they subscribe. Yeah, I'm going to need at least both of you to subscribe.
All
right. I'm leaning towards paying them the $30 here. Should I pay this couple $30 after their Charles Gorman experience at lunch?
I did not have on my bingo card that I would have my call hijacked by some random Jersey cafe couple this morning. This show never fails to surprise and delight. Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta.
You probably did him a favor because this country is totally overrun by useless carbs, but you did interrupt their breakfast. Like, I would not be as friendly.
We should pay those couple. They calling your show. That's a big thing.
I agree.
You got 2 customers now.
This looks like blue hooded sweatshirt guy, right? Everyone see this? Dave Brigga is vehemently against me paying for this couple's food.
How down bad do you have to be to beg for $30 on the internet?
Wow, they're still watching the show. The couple's still watching the show. Look at this.
That's great. That's great. So if you're sitting there at a restaurant and someone comes up and bothers you,
Jake Asman in New York should pay for your lunch. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here?
I think it's the least Jake can do. It's $30.
You're not very intelligent. Why is that Jake's responsibility? Someone cut the cord to your internet. I'm not listening. No, I can't hear it. I'll let you Jake with one night. Hold on.
Hey, order.
Hey, Dixon, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. Not sitting outside a restaurant with my mug and asking for change. What's going on?
It's not an expensive-ass restaurant, and I'm not begging for money. I have a great job.
You literally typed in the chat and said,
you're doing it for free. You're the idiot.
yeah, I mean, what are we doing?
Incredible. Yeah, your life is sitting on a show and not getting paid for it. You're great content.
Thank you, Jake.
You make him money.
That's crazy. Dixon, don't be so upsetty, spaghetti.
That's my line. Don't do that.
Sweetheart, I don't even know you, but I didn't mean to take your line. It's okay. You can take it back. Toodles!
Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the couple from the table. Unbelievable.
What were you actually doing? Tell us.
Going to the bathroom. Right. And for people to ask whether or not I wash my hands and wipe my butt, are people stupid?
Well,
are you guys actually laughing about this shit? Tells me questions your guys' character.
I am pissed off. Trust me.
You were drying your hands, weren't you, Charles?
Sorry, I was washing my hands and drying my hands.
Right. Thank you. All right, Charles.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go suck it.
I was washing my hands.
Charles, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just wiping my hands right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.